Have you ever felt like you were forgotten by the one person who means the world to you? The one who held your heart in their hands, only to let it slip away like sand through their fingers? Well, here's a story that might just change your perspective. A story of love, loss, and the courage to find your way back, even when it feels like your world has been torn apart. It all started in a small coffee shop. Sophie, the quiet, reserved woman, had always been content with her books and solitude. She never expected a simple moment would turn into something that would change her life forever. Sophie sat there, lost in the pages of her book, when the door chimes rang. In walked Ethan, a man whose charm and warmth would awaken something inside her she hadn't felt in years. Sophie, deep in her world of novels and imaginary heroes, barely noticed him at first. But as he stepped up to the counter to place his order, their eyes met for a brief second. A spark, a connection, unspoken but undeniable. Sophie was content with her life. Quiet, predictable, and peaceful. But Ethan, with his carefree smile and kind eyes, brought a touch of unpredictability to her days. Over the weeks, they met more and more often. Their time together started with simple exchanges. Coffee, laughter, the occasional awkward silence. Yet with every passing moment, something deeper was growing between them. Ethan's presence became a part of Sophie's daily rhythm, and soon she couldn't imagine her life without him. They spent late nights talking, sharing secrets, and simply being in each other's company. Sophie found herself laughing more, smiling more, and even opening up in ways she never had before. Ethan, on the other hand, was drawn to her calm demeanor and the quiet strength she carried with her. Sophie didn't demand anything from him. She simply accepted him, flaws and all. For the first time, Ethan allowed himself to be vulnerable. In Sophie, he found someone who made him feel safe, a feeling he hadn't experienced in a long time. The walls he'd built over the years started to crumble, and for the first time, he let someone see the real him. But sometimes, when things seem too good to be true, they are. As time passed, Sophie began to notice subtle changes in Ethan. His messages became fewer, his presence more distant. Sophie tried to brush it off, thinking it was just a phase. After all, everyone goes through rough patches, right? But the cracks in their once perfect world began to show. Sophie, unsure of what was happening, found herself questioning everything. Had she said something wrong? Done something to push him away? Every unanswered message, every moment of silence from Ethan felt like a stab to her heart. She wanted to reach out, but Ethan's silence left her paralyzed. She didn't know how to fix things, and she didn't know if it was even her fault. Ethan, too, was struggling. His mind raced with thoughts of his own fears and insecurities. He cared for Sophie deeply, but he didn't feel worthy of her love. His past haunted him, his family's expectations weighed heavily on his shoulders, and the fear of opening up to someone completely terrified him. Every time he looked at Sophie, he saw someone who deserved better than him, a person who deserved love without the complications of his past. So, instead of communicating his fears, he pulled away. It seemed easier to retreat into himself than face the pain of possibly disappointing Sophie. But as he distanced himself, he couldn't shake the feeling of emptiness growing inside him. He missed her. He missed the way she made him feel. Whole, accepted, loved. Weeks turned into months, and the distance between them grew. Sophie waited for a message, a sign, anything to show that Ethan still cared. But the silence was deafening. The unanswered calls and unread texts began to haunt her. She couldn't understand why he had pulled away so suddenly, and the unanswered questions gnawed at her every day. She missed him. The old Ethan, the one who would share everything with her, the one who held her hand and promised that things would be okay. Where had that person gone? And why couldn't he be that person now? One day, Sophie's phone buzzed with a notification. She froze. The screen read Ethan. Her heart raced as she stared at the name. Was this it? Was he finally ready to talk? She hesitated before answering the call, unsure of what to expect. Sophie, answering the phone, her voice soft and cautious. Ethan, where have you been? Ethan, his voice trembling, filled with raw emotion. Sophie, I've been running from myself. From you. I pushed you away because I was scared. Scared of not being enough for you. scared of you seeing me as broken. But I never stopped loving you. I never stopped needing you." Sophie listened, her heart aching as Ethan's words poured out. She had always known that he was struggling, but hearing it out loud was different. It hit her in a way she wasn't prepared for. Ethan had been fighting his own demons, and she hadn't known. She hadn't realized how deep his fear ran. Sophie, softly, a tear slipping down her cheek. "Ethan, I've never needed perfection. I've just needed you. And if you're ready, I'm here." Ethan, his voice breaking, filled with regret. "I'm ready, Sophie. I'm so sorry for pushing you away. Let me prove to you that I'm not just the guy who made mistakes. I'm the guy who loves you. Always have. Always will." And so, they found their way back to each other. It wasn't easy. It wasn't perfect. But they knew now that love wasn't about being flawless. It was about choosing each other, even when life threw obstacles in their way. It was about finding strength in each other and building something worth fighting for. Ethan and Sophie's journey wasn't over. There would be more struggles, more moments of doubt, but they knew one thing for certain. Their love was real. And as long as they had each other, they could face whatever came next.